affects students?
History affects students by looking at the past, seeing what worked, what went well, and what didn't. And hopefully, history, if mistakes were made, aren't made again.
How is history useful for students in the future?
Again, same thing, looking in the past, looking at what went well, what didn't go well, what needs to change, how do you get there, what tweaks do we need to do politically, economically, socially, especially in today's age where social is everything, right? It's how people interact, not only in the United States, but with other countries, how are other countries doing? So again, just making sure, studying the relationships of human nature through time and not repeating those same mistakes.
How can history be used in jobs?
That's a good question, and I haven't really thought about it. Can I skip that one for right now? Push pause. Okay, go.
How difficult is history to teach?
History, the challenge with history is, especially with you guys are what, 14? So 14 years old, and we're studying American history, stuff that happened in the 1800s. The hardest part of teaching that particular history is making it relatable to you. For you guys to say, oh, I can relate to the Potawatomi Native Americans that were forced on the Trail of Tears, okay? And for most people, you can't. And so that's hard. That's the challenge that I have as a history teacher, is making it relatable to you guys. And for some, they get it, and for others, they continue to say, this doesn't mean anything to me. So that's the challenge.
What students struggle with history?
I think the students struggle is just having that sense of a background of, or an appreciation of what's gone on in the past. You guys, as 8th graders, 7th graders, and 6th graders, predominantly your whole entire lives are living in the right now and not living in the past or looking at what happened in the past. And so that's something that, you know, for kids who can't go, oh, okay, yeah, let's go back 50 years. I remember my mom and dad or grandma and grandpa talking about World War II or something that happened in history. So for those that don't have those life experiences, or family members or people that talk to, or siblings, it can be a challenge for them.
Do you want to go back to how can history be used in jobs?
So I think it just depends on what jobs you want. There's lots of different fields where you're using history. Again, history is repeating it. If things go well, you want to repeat it. If things don't go well, let's not make those same mistakes. And sometimes in our society, we do. We look at things that are like, okay, what's going on in our world right now, in our country right now, that keeps on happening, that's a negative. Okay, if you think about that, okay, there's lots of different issues. Gun violence, for one, things that are going on, okay? Are we doing things differently so that we prevent those same mistakes from happening? And so I think as a job, when you think about, when you guys get into college and you really start figuring out what you want to do in your life, again, looking at historical context, historical events that took place, how can you offer something to your employer that's going to make you stand out? Having knowledge of history is only going to help you. And so that's something. Not all job professions, you know, you're going to be required to know the first 10 amendments of the Bill of Rights, right? I mean, but you know, just having a basic understanding of those is only going to help you. All right.
Okay.
Thanks, boys. Good job.